Welcome back everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 7, Episode 11 of Eldritch Horror, Mountains of Madness expansion, and we're up against Ithaqua and his Windwalker minions from the frozen Hyperborea. So we've had epic encounters across Antarctica. We are now facing the final push here. Rarely running low on Mythos cards. We're jumping into turn 13. Active Expedition is moving to the Amazon. So we freed up the bootlegger Finn Edwards, so maybe he can go up and join us in the fight. So maybe, or he can head off to close the gate in Buenos Aires. There's quite a few monsters there, so that's quite intimidating for him. Also, Wilson Richards picked up an old journal item, and Ursula Downs has picked up Mists of Relief spell, and she's also picked up Purifying the World. So she's got a couple of new items here to go ahead with. We still have this active mystery to close, so let's go ahead and get right into it. First of all, Ursula Downs is stuck with encountering this flying polyp. She cannot heal, but I believe she can grab a focus and try to just deal with her hyperthermia. So let's have her roll this. So she does not lose her hyperthermia. Let's have her try again. No, cannot do it. So still has the hyperthermia, cannot rest. No worries. Let's have her gain an item here, and focus. She can gain a focus, and we'll get on to the next turn. Wilson Richards, again, he will move down. Actually, he's going to move down to get his. So he'll move into Arkham, and he'll also try to get that provision. So let's have him roll for the provision. Oh no, he just has to fight a Wendigo right now, right? So that's space 1. He needs 2 clues, so he's going to try to get that clue there. So he's just going to head out there to get the clue. He can also have a resource. And lastly, Finn Edwards, the bootlegger. Let's have him move up, spend a boat token, and move up to the Indonesia, I guess, and maybe on his way up to helping Ursula Downs. So he'll just have a normal encounter. So let's have her attack these monster stacks. So first off, I think she's going to go for this flying polyp because she does have... Oh, well, she has a card that says, during the encounter phase, you may test... If you pass, you may choose an encounter as if there's no monsters on the space, which maybe that's the right way to go. So let's have her try that. She also has, when you defeat a non-epic monster during combat, place the monster on this card. So maybe she just pass the encounter as if there's no monster here. So let's have her try to, can she encounter through the closed gate? So let's have her just go through the gate as if there's no monsters there. So let's have her close the gate so no more spawning can happen. That will be based on her test. So let's see if she tests here. She passes her test. So she's able to just bypass these monsters for now to go and close that gate. So let's have her go and close the gate. And she's back at the Plateau of Lang. A large band of chochos surround you. Before they can attack, you remember seeing some black lotus flowers nearby. Resolve the pass effect to... Resolve the pass effect to tell the chochos the location of the rare blossoms, or resolve the fail effect to flee from them. So resolve the pass effect to tell the chochos the location. So we'll go ahead, we'll resolve the pass effect. The chochos agree to help you if you lead them to the lotus flowers, but some of them are acting shifty. So let's see. She passes. If you pass, you help them. They help you return home. Close this gate. So she gets to close the gate at least. So the monsters are still here, but the gate is closed. Okay. If you fail, we don't fail. So that's a good win for her. So she can attack the monsters the next round, or keep doing that, I think. It says after you encounter, she has to flip this card. We can make a roll. 2+, you walk forward boldly knowing the mists will keep you hidden. No additional effect. Flip this card. Okay, so this is great. Mists of Relais protected her here. So perfect. Let's move on to Wilson Richards. He's got an action test for the old journal that he can also do. Actually, let's have him do the old journal test, right? As opposed to getting this focus. He has an old journal where he can discover new information and flip the card. So let's just have him do that first, and then he can encounter the cultists and the clue and all that stuff. So first of all, he's going to do this tome. He's going to test for his observation, which is... He fails it. Okay, so he didn't get that, so that's fine. Can he roll one more die with this focus, or should I save that for the combat? Maybe I'll save it for combat. Okay, so let's go into his combat phase against the cultist. He has the cultist, and he can roll with his blunderbuss. Is able to kill the cultists. Done. And let's have him try to close the gate first off. So he can close the gate. Got this elder thing here. From the Plateau of Lang. We close the gate. Now we're in Lost Carcosa. You grow frustrated walking through the empty streets, able to hear people talking and laughing nearby, but unable to catch up with them. You try to focus and distinguish specific words from the mingling conversation. This is great. We've got like Carcosa coming through now. All the worlds are starting to break through, and Ithaqua freezes the earth, right? So he needs to make a observation check. If you pass, the words you hear sound familiar, something you've read. You try to recall their significance. Again, lore. If you pass, use the words to close the gate. Right? That's the first one. But if you fail, that second one, it says if you fail, the words insinuate to gain a paranoia condition. So he gets to close the gate, but he gains a paranoia condition. So let's have him gain a paranoia condition. But he does get to close the gate. So paranoia condition for Wilson Richards, and we will set him up with that. Okay, next off is Finn Edwards. Finn Edwards, the bootlegger. He's just going to do a city encounter here, and he will grab that one. To find the city's legendary magic shop requires knowledge of ley lines. If you pass the owner... Okay, ley lines. So let's have him do his knowledge of ley lines. If you pass, the owner will sell you a single curio. Gain one magical asset from the deck. If you fail, your search seems to have led you through to another world. Move to a random space. Okay, so he's not passed. And let's have him get this ley line one, because I just think it's kind of cool that it was ley lines. So he gets the ley line item here. Once per round, when re-rolling a die, you resolve a test during the other world. You can re-roll a dice when resolving an other world test. So that's pretty good. So that's good for Finn Edwards. That's the end of our encounters phase. Let's head into our Mythos phase. So Mythos phase, crime in the streets. 3 men armed with bricks and planks walk down the dark street. As you turn, 2 more men emerge from the alley. It seems this town is too remote and no metropolis too civilized for the presence of robbers. Again, so it's just like the world is coming undone, as like the frozen world is coming down and people are turning to anarchy. Let's go ahead and move the active omen. We've got a gate open. Single gate open that does not have that symbol, so no doom advance. We do have a reckoning. Everyone can spend a focus to not get a hypothermia, which they can do. 3 focuses spent. We also have reckoning for any of our cards here. No reckonings here. No reckonings here. Let's see, the Flying Polyp has a reckoning. Move the monster to the nearest space containing a gate. So this Flying Polyp goes to here, which is helpful. Zombie Horde, roll 1 die. On a 1 or 2, advance Doom by 1. Here's this reckoning. So we got a 3, so Doom does not advance. We have a zombie reckoning. Spawn. So we can spawn this zombie here, and we can discard this zombie monster. So that's kind of brings the odds down for her. That's helpful. So let's go ahead. Well, that works. Why not? Any more reckonings here? Flying Polyp we did. Any more reckonings? No, that's all. Okay, so that is it. And then finally spawn another gate. Spawn 1 more gate on Tokyo. And grab a monster. Monster bag. And we get Jiangxi. Jiangxi. Sounds Chinese instead of Japanese. That's cool. Jiangxi is there, spawning a gate. And now we have to do the Crime in the Streets event. Each investigator's city space loses each investigator in a city space. So not in a city space. He's in a city space, and he's in a city space. They lose 2 health and 2 sanity. Okay, so that's not good. So lose 2 health. Unless they just discard a trinket or an item. So task, item, blunderbuss, item tome. Let's just have him go ahead and lose it. And same for him. 1, 2. So they are quite injured. So I think that's gonna work for the Mythos phase. Let's just jump into turn 14. So turn 14. We've got to close the active mystery. He's going to go after... Wilson's going to go after the clue. I think she can now go after these monsters and get those out of the way. She also can fight a Wendigo if she moved to that space. So she has to do this. She has to clear these monsters because her spell of Aurelia only lets her choose an encounter as if there's no monsters on her space. So she won't use that this round. She's actually going to fight them. So let's see how that goes for her. So let's have her make her roll for her hyperthermia roll. Okay, so she can discard her hyperthermia, and then let's have her perform this task rest action. She can beseech a higher power, which allows her to pass 1 Eldritch token on this card. The Elder God Hypnos grants you visions of a distance, place, and time. In these visions, you see the answers you seek. Mysterious events that have besieged the earth. So somehow Hypnos from sleep is cluing her into the rise of Ithaqua, right? So she's sort of seeing this vision of his red eyes and the snow, and that's who's besieging the earth. With this knowledge, you're prepared to combat the alien threat. Gain 1 focus, improve 1 skill of yourselves for each Eldritch token on this card. How come only 1 Eldritch token? Okay, so I can place, so that I place 1 Eldritch token on the card, I guess, and then there's only 1 Eldritch token on the card. So it seems odd that it says you only can place 1, and then it says for each one. So she gains a focus. She can gain a focus. And then once per round also, yeah, let's just have her stay with that. That's fine. Focus, and then she can increase one skill of her choice. So let's go for her strength. Why not? Because she's in a combat here, so she can up her strength. And then we discard this prayer. So the prayer is discarded. Let's go ahead and let's also have Wilson. So that's her setup, her rest and her setup. Wilson's going to do this old journal. So he's got this item called the old journal action. Test observation. So he has observation. Let's have him roll a test of observation. If you pass, you discover information that may prove useful to you. Flip this card. Old journal. This is cool. Look at this one. I've never seen this one before. You find a coded message scrawled in the margins. As you decipher the code, you learn of a prophesized future. Advance the active mystery by 1 and then discard this card. So the active mystery is closed. So we can close out this active mystery and we can advance to the third active mystery. So wow, this is a great... The Gomfke attack. No content. Not content to let the weather cause havoc, Ithaqua has unleashed his terrifying minions upon the frozen cities of the world. The Nopfke attacks with a bestial fury, sowing chaos wherever they appear. So here's the Nopfke. It's kind of like the Krampus. It looks like a Krampus kind of thing, right? Krampusnacht. You know, have you seen the Krampus? Like the Santa comes for the good kids, but the Krampus comes for the bad kids. So this is the Krampus kind of thing. The Nopfke. So, as an encounter, an investigator on a city space containing a clue must confront the Nopfke as it threatens civilization. Well, here he is. An investigator on a city space with a clue. If he defeats it, place the clue on this card. Okay, there's a city space with a clue. It's almost lined up, so great. So, we'll go forward with that. And I think that maybe he would just have rested before this. So, seems like a good pair of actions for him. So let's move on to the final Finn Edwards. Finn Edwards will also run up to maybe he'll come up to do this clue encounter on 17. Thematic. Let's go after that one. And let's get into, that's the action phase. Let's get into the encounters phase. So encounters phase, we start out with Ursula Downs, and she will not cast her Mist of Rillia. She will use her she has an old journal or Purifying the World. Let's have her use Purifying the World. When you defeat a non-epic monster during combat, place that monster on this card, then you flip this card. Okay, so she will go ahead and fight the ghoul first, I guess. So that's one. So the ghoul, she'll fight the ghoul. And first of all, she'll roll her will, which she passes. And then she will roll her attack on the ghoul. And gets 1 damage. And that's only 1 damage. So she takes a damage also. But she does get to use this card now. So it says, when you defeat a non-epic monster, place that monster on this card and you flip the card over. The blood of the slain roils, tendrils of the thick smoke curl from the cauldron as you speak the arcane words. With a burst of steam, dozens of shadowy figures fly from the basin, ready to do your bidding. For each monster of this card, discard that monster and choose one monster in the game board equal to or less than the health of this and discard that. Then the chosen monster loses health equal to the discarded monster's toughness. Okay, so for the zombie mode, let's have her just reduce that to 4. So it has 5 health, now it's down to 4 health. So she's reduced this health by 1 already, just by using this Purifying the Wind. Then discard this card. So the ghoul slaying has also caused terror in the zombie horde. So she's fighting these undead creatures, like the White Walkers kind of, right? So let's have her go around now with the zombie horde, and she gets. Let's have her do a reroll of this. Oh, she also is able to do in combat. She fights a monster tougher to during combat. You may examine the creature's remains. So, yeah. Okay. So let's have her just reroll. Okay. So here she goes for the. So she does lose a will for that one. Let's have her do the strength test now. 5 and 6. She does 2 more damage. Let's have her reroll 2 more. She gets 4 total damage, and there's 4 left. She's defeated the zombie horde, and she's used her extra focus tokens. So discard all of those. She's quite battered up here, but the zombie horde is defeated, and that doesn't go to the active mythos. It just goes to her closing out. Closing everything out, right? So that's it. So the zombie horde is closed out, and let's move on to Wilson Richards, the handyman. So now he's got the last active mystery, the Ithaqua attack. So here he is in Arkham, and he will do his blunderbuss attack. First off with his wisdom attack. Passes with 2. Next with the blunderbuss. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of 3, Ithaqua attack. Move him onto the card. We have to get the clue. So we got that. Once we get that clue, we can move that clue onto the card. So we still will have a clue encounter, which is a city clue encounter, Ithaqua clue encounter. The creatures from the north. The creatures from the north have become more aggressive due to the storm. The city, like many others, is under assault by the heavily. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. The city is under assault by the beastly Ithaqua. The Ithaqua monster ambushes you. If you defeat it, produce the city and citizens. Gain this clue and the random ally. So he's already defeated the Ithaqua, so let's just have him fight him again as the encounter. He wins that clue. That comes into effect after the Mythos phase. So, oh wait, no. At the end of the Mythos phase, if there are clues equal to solve this mystery, how do we do that? Another Ithaqua appears then. So there's another Ithaqua that appears, and he has to fight that one too. So I guess we can have a second clue come out of this. So let's do one more attack. So there's actually a second Ithaqua comes from the card. So if you see the card, it spawns a Ithaqua. And we have to defeat that. And then once we do it, we can gain another clue. So let's do that first. So we'll roll the horror. And we pass. And we'll roll with the blunderbuss. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 3. The second one is defeated. And we can add a second clue onto the Ithaqua attack. And that is going to wrap us up for the game. So that is closing the third mystery. When the 3 mysteries have been solved, we complete the game. Let's just, for completion's sake, that has to happen at the end of the Mythos phase. So for completion's sake, we still have to play through Finn Edwards' clue. So let's read Finn Edwards' clue. He's got a city one. It says you chase a suspected killer through the winding alleys. The suspect ducks into an abandoned warehouse, and you lose sight of him. So maybe this is like the Yeti or the Bigfoot, right? There's some kind of creature, some cryptid that escapes him. Something from Ithaqua is kind of raced off into the warehouse. You lose sight of him. Let's roll test. If you pass, you manage to corner him and notice the wild bloodlust in his eyes. Gain this clue, and we get to gain that clue. And that will wrap up our encounters phase. So discard into the discard box. This will drive you crazy, but it's a nice messy discard box as opposed to putting them away neatly. Okay, so third attack is closed at the end of the Mythos. So this could be our last Mythos. I'm not at liberty to disclose my client's identity, the lawyer says with a dialect you cannot place. Suffice it to say, a line of credit has been established. There are no obligations are attached to these funds. Mysterious benefactor. Okay, so we advance the Omen track. Do we have a... Yes, so the Doom track goes down to 9. We do a reckoning, so everyone will lose... everyone gains a hyperthermia. So we can put those hyperthermias back for each of the characters. So hyperthermia. Wilson has the Heart of Winter. He will choose not to gain another hyperthermia. And Finn Edwards will need to flip his. He has to lose 1 sanity as a curse of that and flip it back. So he's down a bit, but I think he'll live. We need to spawn a new gate. Which will be on the Amazon with a monster. Just pick a monster here. A cultist. And that is going to be it. Lead investigator gates a funding condition, which is fine. We can have her have a funding condition. And that is the end. We have defeated the Ithaqua. 3 mysteries have been solved. Investigators win the game. But now let's go to... because Ithaqua was never spawned, we don't get the unique victory. Let's pick one of these 4 random Ithaqua victory cards that we've got. So these are our final Forgotten Endings. These are our Forgotten Endings cards. So we've got 4 to choose from. So let's just kind of go with Ithaqua number 1, and we'll kind of read this one off. So if investigators win, Ithaqua does not awaken. So we've stopped Ithaqua from awakening, and the card is called the Cosmic Prophecy. You cannot get meeting the medium Edgar Casey from... Oh, well, this is cool. Wait a minute. This is really crazy. You cannot yet meeting the medium Edgar Casey for Virginia Beach. You can't get the meeting of you can't get meeting the medium Edgar Casey from Virginia Beach out of your head. How could he know all this? And most importantly, why does he believe that in 6 days you will find yourself in a Boston prison? But this is exactly how it happens. You are being awarded for you're being arrested for false accusation, but an influential friend from Washington helps you get out. You suspect Casey is an accomplice in a secret cult and heading back to Virginia Beach to deal with him. He laughs at the accusation and dazzles you with a detailed description. You will have to prevail the arrival of Ithaqua. That you have prevented the arrival of Ithaqua. Everything you do after confirms his words. It looks like now the world is truly saved from death. but the realization that you are just a weak-willed doll in the hands of invisible cosmic forces plunges you into severe lingering depression. Whoa. Okay, so the idea is there's a prophecy from Edgar Cayce in Virginia Beach. Something about false accusations from Boston. But because we've prevented the arrival of Ithaqua, everything that we've done is helped to prevent the arrival of Ithaqua. And now, the realization that we're just sort of puppets at play in this cosmic drama. Wow, that's a great, great ending. Cosmic prophecy. Very cool one. Okay, guys, that's going to be it. That is going to wrap up our gameplay of Season 7, Ithaqua Eldritch Horror. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll do a post-game and talk to you in the next video. And we'll see you. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments below. Check out our links. And looking forward to playing some more Eldritch Horror. And check out our other game playlists. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.